squatter standoffs that made the headlines.
Anti-squatter activist, squatter hunter, squatter remover. Just do what I have to help people get their squatters out.
You ain't gonna be sneaking up on me in the middle of the night, you
Flash Shelton has taken matters into his own hands when it comes to squatters, using his personal experience with illegal tenants to help homeowners across California.
He has dedicated his life to helping homeowners clear their properties of squatters.
Affectionately known as the squatter hunter, Shelton gives squatters a taste of their own medicine as he seeks to drive them out of the homes they've taken over.
I understand you've been squatting at this residence?
No.
What do you have to say for yourself? You gonna talk to me now?
Now you want to talk?
Yeah,
Have
I
a
wanna
civil
talk.
conversation?
Shelton has been busy reclaiming properties across the West Coast, starting his mission after a squatter occupied his mother's home, which they were trying to sell.
It was so overwhelming. Just my stomach dropped. And this is a home that I have memories with my parents in.
In response, Shelton had his mother provide him with a lease for the home so that he could move in, making things very uncomfortable for the squatter.
I'm really sorry about all this. I really am.
I'm saying,
I
get
know.
your stuff out. If they can take a house, I can take a house.
By turning the tables, he forces the squatters to go to court to fight for the property, instead of the homeowner having to go to court to remove them.
When I turn up the pressure, it's pretty easy to get them out.
Since posting his first video on YouTube over a year ago, Shelton has successfully reclaimed a dozen more properties. He enters homes occupied by squatters and squats alongside them until he can force them to leave.
They can't kick me out because I have a lease. So it's a game, it's a chess match. Forcing them to go to court to fight to get back into a property instead of a homeowner having to go to court to fight to get them out.
He brings cameras recording every moment as he creates minor nuisances until the squatters get fed up and leave.
I am taking over this property, I am leasing this property, and I'm moving my crew in and put cameras up everywhere.
Whatever you put up, no one's going to give.
He notes that the issue isn't limited to California, and the United Nations estimates there are at least 1 billion squatters worldwide.
It's not a new thing, it's something that's been going on for decades.
As he continues his fight, Shelton is pushing lawmakers to address the issue more formally.
But as soon as law enforcement tells them that it's a civil matter and they can't do anything, call or locate me on squatterhunters.com. Let us assess the situation for you before you start the civil process and give them their rights.
Until then, he plans to keep helping as many homeowners as possible, removing those who don't belong.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed is current and legal.
A New York City property owner recently ended up in handcuffs following a heated standoff with alleged squatters she had been trying to evict from her family's home.
You're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Adele Andaloro was arrested after changing the locks on the $1 million home in Queens, which she says she inherited from her parents after they passed away.
It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
The ordeal began when Adele started the process of selling the home, but discovered that squatters had moved in. Frustrated, she went to her family's home with a local TV crew and called a locksmith to change the locks.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York City, a person can claim squatters' rights after just 30 days of residing at a property.
But then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
Under the law, it's illegal for a homeowner to change the locks, shut off utilities, or remove the belongings of the so-called tenants from the property.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home.
Armed with legal documents, Adele entered the home after one of the apparent squatters left the front door open.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
A heated, caught-on-camera confrontation with the occupants quickly unfolded.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains. There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
Police eventually escorted 2 people off the property who had no proof they had been there for more than 30 days.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They got one out.
After Adele changed the locks, a man barged through the front door.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door. Broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
The man claimed he was legally renting the property.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it's cops.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Following a series of 911 calls from both parties, responding officers informed Adele that she needed to resolve the issue in court, as it was considered a landlord-tenant dispute.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out.
The NYPD confirmed that Adele was ultimately charged with unlawful eviction because she had changed the locks without providing a new key to the person residing there.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court.
Despite footage showing other alleged squatters being led away in handcuffs, police stated that no additional arrests were issued.
How does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court. It's that simple.
Adele said she is now being forced to initiate an eviction case in court to resolve the dispute.
I do it tight so she can't even stick her hands in there and try to pull things out.
Yes, that's a bike lock on the refrigerator, put there to keep the nanny away.
Marcela Bracamonte, a young mother from California, decided to hire a live-in nanny to help with her 3 kids. She posted a Craigslist ad seeking a nanny in exchange for free room and board. She got a message from Diane Stratton, a kind-looking grandma who offered herself for the job.
I did a background check, I've called references.
At first, everything was running smoothly. Diane took great care of the kids and they loved spending time with her.
He loved her like grandma. Like a grandma, and I would tell him, Mom, you have competition.
But after only several weeks, she stopped working. When they noticed she was no longer doing her job, Marcela and her husband tried to fire her, but they ran into an unexpected obstacle.
So this corner of your house is basically off limits to you guys right now. When you guys ask her to leave, what does she say to you?
She smiles and shuts the door on me.
Even though she wasn't paying rent, Diane claimed she was their tenant and therefore was entitled to all the legal protection that comes with it.
This is now, by court, by law, this is her domain.
Even though it's in your house?
Even though it's in our house, we can't go in there.
They couldn't just kick her out. They had to file a formal eviction. It's a long process that can take months.
You need to make sure that she has her day in court, however ridiculous it may be.
It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months. She could end up filing bankruptcy and it could start all over.
Meanwhile, the family had to share their home with her.
I got nervous because a woman that is now hateful towards me is sleeping right across from my child.
Diane became a squatter, meaning she was illegally occupying a residence. But the California landlord-tenant laws prevented the homeowners from forcing her out. They couldn't even change the locks on the doors.
It's an illegal lockout, and we can get sued for $60,000 or maybe even taking our house away from us. I think that she actually spends her day trying to ruin people's lives.
Diane rejected those claims. According to her, the family exploited her during the time she worked for them.
In there, I didn't get lunch breaks, I didn't get coffee breaks, I didn't get any holidays. Basically, I was working 24/7. They were the ones that were trying to exploit me as if I was some poor migrant worker or some from a foreign country.
She also claimed she wasn't fired but quit the job. The family then harassed her in order to get her to leave.
She sent her 4-year-old son to my door. He knocks on my door and he says, Diane, we have your dinner for you. And I opened the door and there were 3 cans of dog food outside the door.
The family is deeply disturbed and absolutely denies all of those statements.
Diane eventually moved into her car, but didn't vacate her room in the Bracamontes' home for another 2 months.
Since I was constructively evicted from the Bracamontes' home, I've been homeless.
According to legal professionals, this situation could have been avoided if Marcela and Diane had signed a proper contract.
I think the prospective employer should take the time to either consult with a lawyer or draw up what they are convinced is a legally enforceable and proper document.
Unfortunately, the advice came too late for the Bracamontes. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.